What's up, heathens? How y'all doing? Today we're going to be finishing up Shannon Q's comments video. As you will recall, last week we started going through her comments, and today we're going to finish those up. So if you biarches are ready to listen to some Jordan fanboys, then please stay tuned. Somebody called her a biarch. It's in the video. Biarch. B-I-A-R-C-H.
That's the best spelling bitch I've ever seen. That's why I picked it.
So Josh McKenzie says, one dumb biarch. I don't know what a biarch is, but
it's gotta be bitch.
If you're a biarch and a dumb biarch, then I would happily be a biarch too.
I'm just one of them. This many, I guess.
Hey, at least they recognize that you're just one person. They weren't like, this one person.
That's one dumb biarch. Like, I wonder if that's how he pronounces it in real life too. Like, does he? If somebody's a bitch to him, is he like, "Hey, biarch"?
Yeah.
Just look at him confused. Was it supposed to be clever? I mean,
this
one made me laugh.
Have you ever thought to imagine like these people, like just in normal conversations, like elsewhere, talking like they do online?
Yes, I've been in some of them, like the jungle jargons of the world. I've been in a conversation with him. You must know who jungle jargon is.
Yes, jungle jargon. I believe he finally got hidden, or they finally got hidden from the channel last night.
Oh really? Oh my gosh.
From the GE channel, because he came on talking a whole bunch of shit, and so Casey was just like, no, fuck it, just hidden.
The time has come. The time has come. You've had your 786 chances. But yeah, like some of them I think do talk like that in real. Like, this has to be something that's inside of you that either you have to suppress in order to exist in the real world and talk to people, or this is actually how you are, and you must have serious problem with social dynamics, which can't be easy, in which case I'm sorry, but maybe do some self-analysis, because that if you're consistently having the same problem, there might be a reason that you should critically analyze and regarding how you interact with people. Biarch.
Well, like for people like Josh here, I mean, I don't know, I can't help but to think of them like in like overalls with like wheat sticking out of their thing, being like, I gotta tell you, my teacher's one dumb biarch.
Yeah, maybe, or maybe it's because he knows that I'm a hick because I'm from Nova Scotia, and maybe he's picked up on my accent and he knows that I like go four-wheeling and wear flannel and wear work boots and spend most of my time out tromping through the woods. Maybe he knows that I'm a hick, and so he figured that would be the only way that I would recognize the word biarch, is if it was in my vernacular. So he was just trying to be understanding of my culture.
Well, I have to recognize the irony in this comment though, because I'm assuming this is another Jordan B. Peterson comment, because I think all of these are pretty much from the Jordan B. Peterson video.
A good chunk of them are, yeah. A good chunk of them, because they were the most recent and readily available to me, and they were in abundance. So abundant.
Well, I have to recognize the irony here, because your video was very well put together and you spoke very clearly and intelligently, and then you get a comment like this that's just like, one dumb biarch, and it's like that is the most ironic thing I think that you could probably comment with. I don't know. There's probably another person that'll like surprise me, but just the irony of it is what's hilarious to me.
Such a very cogent rebuttal. Good job, Josh.
All right, Colin Crilly. What the fuck, girl? Go away.
One like.
And honestly, that was like, probably himself.
Maybe that's one of the reasons I picked it, because somebody was like, "Yeah, go away."
I mean, like, how much of a dipshit do you have to be? Like, somebody, you're searching the internet, or you're on YouTube looking for these kinds of videos, not necessarily like rebuttal videos, but just Jordan B. Peterson videos. How can you go to somebody's channel who is offering a solid rebuttal to his bullshit and being like, go away, I don't want to hear your shit. I gotta go suck Jordan B. Peterson's dick real quick.
Yeah, Yeah, like go away. Go away from what? My channel that you came to? You go away. You don't have to be here.
Well,
my channel. I'm not going.
Well, I was going to say, it's like these people don't know how to use the social platform that they're on, because I get these type of comments in the Facebook page inbox. Like, I will literally have people that message me and go, "Get off my fucking timeline." And I'm like, I'm not forcing it on your timeline, dipshit. Learn how to Facebook. And like for this guy right here, it's like, learn how to YouTube, I guess. Because it's like, you don't have to watch her video. You can just not click on her video. That's all.
It's like going into it's like somebody coming into my house, the two of us getting into an argument because we disagree on something, and then them going, "Get out!" Like, no, you can leave. This is my house. You didn't have to come here. I live here. This is where I live. You can leave. You don't have to be here. No one's forcing you.
Yeah, I mean, thinking about it like that just makes it even more hilarious. Just like you're sitting there chilling out, watching something on like Netflix or something, and just all of a sudden some guy busts in like a ninja, like, "Boosh! Would you shut the fuck up already?" God damn, sorry, I was in my own house. Shit.
Like, I don't remember inviting you here. But okay, I guess I'll leave because you want me to. No, sorry, just kidding. I'm not going anywhere. Get the fuck out yourself.
So when these people tell you to like shut up or anything like that, do you ever get the feeling of, well, maybe I should stop talking about this bullshit?
No. No. No.
Well, I mean, it doesn't me either, but you know, like you've said before, everybody's different. Everybody feels a different way. So I felt like it would be good to have like what you think about like this basic sentiment that, because it's lobbied a lot online, especially towards women.
I can understand how it would be disparaging. I really, really can. But my perspective maybe is just a little bit different. When I hear people going, "You know what? Shut up." What I hear is, "Oh, I'm saying something that challenges you, and you don't know how to respond to it right now. Good. I want to say things that are challenging."
Well,
so that means that I'm doing what I wanted to do.
Right.
If everybody just agreed with me, then I wouldn't be doing what I intend.
Yeah, no, I agree. And every time I hear this same sentiment, I laugh exactly like you do. But any last words for this dipshit right here telling you to shut the fuck up?
No. That's it. No, thanks.
All right, let's see.
No, thank you.
No, thank you. It's like shooing bears off of your porch.
Yeah. I gotta go to work.
I gotta go to work. Bye. Doing real shit over here. Tom.
Oh, Tom.
Well, after 5 minutes, I skipped around, then danced through the comments. What a load of scatterbrained pap. Same for nearly all the comments. I think you fuckers need ADHD meds. Or Thorazine. See, before when I read this, I read just like, well, actually it kind of implies just like one Thorazine. Like, I guess it's a pill. It's like, you need a Thorazine. Just for watching this video, you just need a Thorazine.
I picked this one because the level of self-awareness is astounding. It's like I engaged in classic ADHD type behaviors and then projected. It's like I spent 5 minutes doing this, and then I danced around doing that, and then I did this for a little bit. I haven't even finished the whole video. Just read through the comments. You guys need ADHD meds.
Yeah, you know what would be awesome, like a tool that would be awesome for YouTube is in the comments, it tells you exactly how long a person has watched a video before making the comment.
I would love that. Love that. That's brilliant, John.
I know.
That is just, I know it is. I thought of that. So smart, right? That is brilliant though, because so many of them, like some of them admit, like, I only watched 5 minutes and this is bullshit and you're wrong. Like, okay, it's a 30-minute long video, but all right, they're champs.
Well, you see,
got me.
The thing is though that they're still giving you positive, like, I guess, feedback. Like, them just watching 5 minutes and then dropping out kind of hurts a little bit, but the fact that they watched it for 5 minutes and they gave you those 5 minutes of watch time and that interaction only helps your video. So I don't know why they think leaving a negative comment or even thumbs downing the video is really going to affect you all that much. But whenever somebody comes in, it's like, what a load of scatterbrained pap for a video that is very clearly well put together. I mean, that should really just make anybody laugh. Like, immediately be like, there was no scatterbrained shit about this.
I know, and all of my videos in the description box have citations, like very well labeled, well sourced citations. I mean, I'm not saying that makes me right, but at least you can see my source documentation and you know what I'm talking about and from. And I also display a lot of those source documents on the screen so that people can see, listen, I've done the research. This is what this actually says. This is the perspective I'm looking at it from. I may have a bias. Don't take my word for it. Everything's in the description so that you can check my work, because I'm just as able to be wrong as anybody else is. And I don't understand, like, people level these accusations all the time. A lot of people just say, you're dumb, you're stupid, you're scatterbrained, this is garbage. But no one yet has given me an example as to what led them to that conclusion other than the fact that they disagree with me. And thus, I must be an idiot.
Yeah. So it's the same for me with the mythicist content that I produce. Because, like, they'll be like, you're just wrong about everything. Oh, okay. Name one thing that I'm wrong about. Right. And they either can't, they say some kind of generalized, well, you can't do history correctly. And it's like, I'm fairly solid in, like, how to understand history and everything like that. So you need to point out specifically where I'm wrong. And then they never give me, like, a good answer as to what I got wrong. And it's just amazing to me. Like, I remember She Who Shall Not Be Named. She was like, you had no sources whatsoever for anything that you talked about in the video. And I'm like, I put them directly on the screen and they're in the comments, or not comments, but in the description. Like, I don't know what else to do. And I'll get several people that are like, you should really put something in the description. And I'm like, I have. Did you not read it?
Like the description on the video you're commenting on?
Yeah.
Like that?
Like, it'll be in the description, like, if in the cards, if I can put, like, if it's a video or something like that, it'll be in the cards. I mean, it's just, I do my best to get shit in the video, but it's just like, fucking hell. It's like you can lead a horse to water, but you can't force that fucker to drink, kind of thing.
Yeah, because then if they have to look at them, then they're forced to address them, right? Then they're forced to address them on an honest level. And so instead of doing that, I think a lot of people just assert. And if they assert loudly enough, people might be compelled by them or believe them, or they can believe it themselves without actually having to reconcile themselves with the fact that the things that people like you and me are presenting, you know, have valid sources that should be perused before you come to a decision. Just because you don't like me or you don't like what I'm saying, that's fine. You don't have to like me and you don't have to like what I'm saying. But if you're going to formulate a public opinion about the things that I'm saying, maybe know what the hell I'm talking about. Like, go and look for yourself, find an issue with it. I would love to know if there is one so that I can address it and adjust it myself. But just telling me that I'm an idiot and that, you know, I'm scatterbrained, or that, you know, the comments are scatterbrained, or that I'm not addressing something doesn't compel me, because I know that the antithesis of that is true, and you're not providing any evidence to the contrary. You're just making an assertion, and I don't really have to respect your assertion at all.
No, you don't. And see, that's the thing. That's another thing, is this privilege that a lot of people that comment in this way, they think that they have some sort of privilege that you have to answer them or whatnot. Like, I get a lot of those kind of comments where they demand an answer or something like that. I know that we had one early, the very first one that we were talking about kind of demanded an answer. But yeah, that kind of, like, pretentiousness, I guess, is kind of aggravating at times. Any last thoughts for this Tom dipshit?
Tom. Yeah, no, don't take medicine unless your doctor tells you to take medicine, Tom. Don't do that. But maybe read this to yourself again. and see if you notice anything that sticks out to you.
Yeah, because if you literally think about him dancing around through the comments and like skipping around and everything like that literally seems like you might have ADHD. Like, I'm just saying, bro.
ADHD. This one made me laugh so hard. Oh, Tom. Oh,
so
Casey.
Nathan Clark, please take Jordan's name off your tagline. Nobody gives a fuck about about you or your thoughts on this great man. Any guy who agrees with you is some pathetic weasel who thinks he might get laid by kissing your barren ass.
That's the only reason anybody agrees with me.
The sexism in this is like thick.
Yeah, palpable. You can stand on it.
This is like thick with 2 C's.
Wow, that's strong, John. Even I don't know if I'd go that far.
Like, again, with the incel like I don't know, obviously I don't know if Nathan's an incel or any of these people are incels or anything like that, but it's incel like because it has such misogyny in it. Oh, yeah. Like it's just like that's the only reason why it exists, it seems. Because it's like any guy who agrees with you is some pathetic weasel beta cuck.
Just wants to get laid. And then my good friend Casey, some of you guys might know Casey. She's around sometimes on this channel. She came in and said, Nathan Clark, I do give a lot of fucks about her and her thoughts because she's brilliant and interesting. And I'm kind of wondering why you think you're some kind of keeper of Jordan's name. Do you think that by playing protector and agreeing with him that you might be the pathetic weasel who thinks you might get some attention from your Zen master? Or maybe it's the getting laid or kissing his boring ass that you're after. Either way, go fuck yourself and clean your room.
So for anybody that doesn't know, Jordan is known for, like, wasn't it like a major hypocrisy? Like he was talking, like at one point he said something about keeping your room clean, and then he did a video stream or something like that where he had a messy as fuck room, I think. I want to say that he had said some type of person doesn't clean their room or something like that, and then later on it's found out that he actually has a messy as fuck living situation.
Yeah, I think he's changed that going forward because maybe he realized the hypocrisy, but he was doing live streams and the background of the room was just like clutter everywhere, like clothes in piles. Because his thing was, you know, in order to have an organized mind, you kind of have to have an organized space. So one of the first steps to take in order to, you know, kind of pull up your bootstraps and get yourself together, like a small first step to take and a good one is clean your room. If you want to have an organized mind, an organized life, clean your room, make your bed, do those sorts of things. So yeah, that was a Jordan Peterson trope, yet another Jordan Peterson trope where you can look directly at him and see, oh, you don't follow your own advice? Okay, just checking. All right, cool. You can just say whatever. Like, yeah, speak clearly. Always make sure that you're speaking clearly and with purpose. Oh, okay, and then just jumble up a bunch of bullshit and just contradict yourself within your own statement. Oh, okay, perfect. Yeah, both of those are good. You're right. Yeah, Casey came in, bless her heart.
Yeah, she's usually really good at the coming in and like laying it on thick, but making it sound a little nice at first. And she's pretty good at sliding in like that.
Yes, she's a master.
But so, what do you think about Nathan's comment in general? Because I know that I kind of espoused how misogynistic and disgusting it kind of is. At least, you know, what caused him to actually comment this. But I'm wondering, what do you think?
I think he's just a Jordan Peterson fan who's attempting to belittle me because he's a fan of Jordan Peterson. And again, isn't addressing anything that I say, is only addressing the fact that I'm the one who's saying it. So I don't really care. I don't have to take that seriously. The misogyny is just, it is what it is from these people, really. Like, it's their go-to because they think it's going to be cutting. They think it's going to be biting, and they think that it's compelling. And I'm sorry, but there are people who do listen and actually care what I have to say. And it's not because they want to sleep with me or kiss my boring ass. And you don't have to be here. The video was about Jordan Peterson, so the name is staying in the tagline because that's what the video is about. And that's what taglines are for. So, no.
No, I totally agree with you. And again, like with these kind of ridiculous comments, the best way, at least in my opinion, to respond to them is just laughter. And, you know, that's what the comment series that I've been doing for the longest time has been about. Reading ridiculous comments and showing how they don't really, like the only way that it affects us is either getting a little annoyed or just laughter. Like, it's just, this is ridiculous kind of thing.
Yeah. Thanks for interacting on our videos.
Oh, yeah, definitely. That helps.
Keep doing it. Go ahead. Keep doing it. Thank you for interacting with our videos. Thank you for hitting play. Thank you for hitting dislike. Thank you for commenting. All of those are interactions. So I appreciate that. Thank you for contributing to my channel, hitting the algorithm. Thanks for that.
Hey, Shannon, they hate you so much, they want to make sure that you're successful on YouTube.
Yeah, I'll take all of that hate. Go ahead. Keep hitting me. I'm glad I'm challenging you. Come back and let me know when you actually have a rebuttal to something that I have to say. Until then.
I doubt you're going to get that. All right, last comment from Bill Lee here.
You go, Bill.
Which, if anybody watching, if you haven't liked the video or shared it out or commented, you should do that now. Just saying. Bill Lee, you're a fuckwit simpleton who fails to grasp the basic context of Peterson's argument.
Yeah.
So I feel like this is a little bit more directed to a, you know, like somewhere in the ballpark of a legit criticism, like saying that you're lacking the basic context of his argument. So, like, I don't know, what do you think about this whole failing to grasp his context?
I think that if he had presented the basic context of his argument here and demonstrated how I wasn't grasping it, that would have changed my mind about this comment. I mean, even the fuck twit, which is I guess, an interesting twist on fuckwit that I hadn't seen before. Fuck twit. If that notwithstanding, I would have taken a look at that if he had said, you know, the context of Jordan's argument is this. And there were a few comments on there where people were critiquing that I did engage with for that reason, because I like to have a look at, you know, people that challenge me. But he didn't. Instead, Bill just chose to just leave it there, to just drop it. You don't understand the context of his argument. However, I feel as though I demonstrated I did. This video was about his essentially boiled down to his Bill C-16 argument. There was a case that I felt as though Peterson misrepresented, and I feel like I made a pretty strong and compelling case for how he was misrepresenting the information surrounding this case in his narrative. Feel free to watch the video it's in a half an hour long video. It's difficult to relitigate the entire thing. But I included the Canadian Human Rights Act, the actual bill. I also included the Bar Association of Canada's rebuttal to his criticisms of the bill. I presented counters to why it doesn't mitigate all free speech in the way that he's demonstrated, and that and I also showed that I highlighted and showed on screen the stipulation in the bill that said that it has nothing to do with personal correspondence, and that you can essentially be as hateful of an asshole and use reprehensible speech as you want, so long as you don't weaponize that to a direct attack against an individual, specifically for being in one of these protected classes. So I went through those steps and I essentially steel-manned his argument by presenting his argument itself. So if he had found a place where within that steel man that I presented right off which was one of the earlier parts of the video, where I did misrepresent the context of his argument, I might take it seriously. But what I fear is that I did present his argument in context and rebut it fairly. He couldn't point to where, so he's just saying, you don't understand it. He's trying in his head to reconcile that dissonance by saying, okay, well, what she presented isn't the context of his argument because she rebutted it. So it's kind of something different. She didn't get it.
My hypothesis is that these types of people, because I've had these types of people respond to a video of mine, because I've got a couple Jordan Peterson videos on my channel, but they've responded to it both in comments and in video form. And the thing is that my hypothesis is they don't understand Peterson's context, but they think they understand Peterson's context. And therefore, anybody offering a legit rebuttal to Peterson is simply out of context because it doesn't match their context that they have made up in their mind. At least to me is what it seems, because like I feel like this guy, in order for him to say that you took him out of context or whatnot, just as a general statement, which is something that I mentioned earlier in the comments video here about them making generalized statements and not actually offering any kind of like targeted like criticism. I feel like he doesn't really understand what the context is, so you presenting the context blatantly like that, I feel just shows that he doesn't even understand Peterson and what he's saying. Well, I feel like a lot of Peterson's fanboys are just they think they understand what Peterson's saying, but they really don't. And I feel like that is a rampant problem in the whole Jordan Peterson fanboy club.
Well, he obfuscates language so much, Jordan Peterson. Yeah. So like there's such a multitude of ways to extrapolate context from what he's saying. And I'm sure that that's his intent, because that allows him to have appeal to multiple audiences, because through his, his verbal thought process, you can extract what you need out of it to support your argument and feel as though an academic has just given you the standing to do so. And two people with glaringly different positions can extrapolate the same like a white supremacist could extrapolate from Jordan Peterson's language something that makes him feel like their position is supported, in the same fashion that an incredibly, moderate, like liberal type person who believes in equality on all levels and doesn't ever want anybody to be discriminated against can extrapolate something from the same, segment of speech, something that they feel supports their position, that laws like this are an affront to free speech in general and are a proposition that the government is compelling speech, when in fact that's not the case. There's nothing written in there about pronouns. It's only in through anyway. You can watch a video and go through that stuff. But yeah, but it's because he obfuscates language so much. Like there's so many ways to contextualize him that you can do it. Like you can just fit it in whatever you already believe and think that that's what his argument is.
Right. No, I completely agree. I had one of the videos that I did with Jordan B. Peterson. He was trying to explain what a soul is, and he likened a soul to a pattern. And so there are many different ways that patterns can exist, like sound waves, records, like music and everything like that's a pattern. And so basically he was laying out this very generalized view of what a soul is, to the point of just sounds are souls. And like I pointed that out, how the way that he was defining a soul just defines it into oblivion, to where it just doesn't mean anything anymore. I explained that, and then I had people actually respond to my video in video form, and they were like, that's not what Jordan's saying. It's like, no, that is exactly what he's saying. They're like, Jordan actually means this bullshit. And I'm like, no, that's not what he's saying. So it's just like, the fact that Jordan speaks in ways to which he can be any kind of context can be formed around whatever he's saying to match whatever the person wants it to be. I feel like that really destroys any kind of real communication you could have, like with your audience in general. I don't know. What do you think about that?
Yeah, well, I mean, have you ever had like this sort of ridiculous counter come at you? You're just responding to what he actually said, but you're not responding to what he means.
Oh God. Yeah. They
doesn't mean what he says.
Yeah, no, that is lobbed so much in this particular conversation, the Jordan B. Peterson conversation. Just like, well, that's what he said, but that's not what he meant by what he said. And it's like, oh, I'm sorry. Am I supposed to put on my fucking Superman glasses and like X-ray read that shit to see what he's supposed to be talking about?
Yeah, and you know what he means, but I don't know what he means, even though both of us have access to the exact same information. Yeah. You somehow have a monopoly on understanding and interpreting what his intentions are, whereas I don't. Or at least maybe I'm honest enough to say neither of us can know that. The only thing we have to go by is what he actually fucking says. Mm-hmm. You're telling me that you know what his intentions are, and I'm telling you nobody can but him. So I think one of us has stronger footing, and guess which one of us it isn't.
It's not the Jordan B. Peterson or his fans, I can assure you.
Oh, he drives me nuts. It drives me batshit crazy, that guy. Honestly.
Well, that's actually it for the comments. Shannon, I really appreciate you coming on. I hope that you'll come on in the future sometime for more comments or other kind of videos. And I hope that you had fun today. I mean, you laughed a lot, and I know I laughed a lot, so that's always a good sign.
I always have fun with you, John. Thank you for inviting me. I was excited to be here. And hi, heathens. How y'all doing? I was wanted to do that. I did it.
Yeah, everybody loves saying that. I don't know why that's resonated with so many people like so hard, but people love that. So that's why, like, there are some people that are like, that's really cringy, and I'm like, I don't give a fuck.
I'm glad I got to do it. I got to do it. Dream come true. I'm on the Godless Engineer channel, and he was reading my comments. I can die now.
Well, do you want to tell the heathens, where to find you at, where they can subscribe, and what you do on your channel one more time?
Yeah, sure. I'm Shannon Q. I have a channel called Shannon Q. I do a lot of things on my channel. I have conversations with people about complex issues. I also do videos regarding the intersection of psychology and faith. And I also, from time to time, will host debates like the debate that I hosted between John and RC Apologist in order to get, complex issues addressed in, a concise and productive manner. So if it's something that you're interested in going to check out, please do. I'm over at Shannon Q. I can't wait to meet you.
Yeah, and if you heathens are not clicking on her links in the description or in the cards, going and subscribing now, I don't know why you're not. I don't know why that's not a thing right now. Go and do that right now. In any case, we'll see you heathens later. Don't forget to stand up and use your voice. Bye, heathens.